Hola, my free-range tax cattle. I'm going to steal a line from Mr. LaFleur and say that FEMA Region 5 is officially checking in. What FEMA region are you from? So, who's ready to get a little controversial? Controversial. You ready? I'm going to stir the fucking pot. Y'all may not like me after this video, but that will only suck for you. So, ready for the controversial topic? I'm going to say it, and I wonder how many people are just going to stop listening. Abortion. Ooh, I said it, the A word. Should I take it back? Not taking it back. Ah, fucking state cops. Hold on. I gotta put on my seatbelt. Fucking police. I wouldn't mind if he was doing something important. He's just posted right there. Just being a fucking road pirate. Look at that road pirate. Fucking douchebag. Anyway. Hey, slow it down, buddy. There's a fucking cop right there. Look at that. He's a smart man. He has brakes. Anyway, sorry. So. Bump, bump, bump. A cousin of mine shared a thing on Facebook, and it was basically about how men need to stop their power hold on women's rights. It has nothing to do with men. Men can't decide for women or something, right? It was basically about, let women be pro-life if they choose to be pro-life. Now, normally I would just pass those up and be like, well, that sucks for that person. Extremely brainwashed. I also wanted to say, tell me you don't have any kids by telling me you don't have any kids. Oh, you just told me you don't have any kids. Because you shared some craziness. When I was younger, I never cared. Pro-life, pro-choice. It didn't matter to me if it was legal or not. It mattered to me if you did it or not. I have a lot of close people in my life who've had multiple abortions. My young sister being one of them. And guess what? My young sister now has 2 children. Anyway, I had to make a comment. I don't even know what my comment was. I try not to be disrespectful. I try to be informative and educate more than I try to, start a fight, right? And so I said something along the lines of whatever. And, what the hell did I say? Oh, I said, the lack of knowledge in this post. That's what I said. The lack of knowledge in this post illustrates that whether the baby is in the womb or out of the womb, it's still murder. It's still killing a baby. And nobody gives a shit. And it's when you think about it, it's kind of satanic that we have all been brainwashed enough to believe that that's acceptable. And not only is it acceptable, but we should stand up for it. How crazy is that? Okay, try to omit the man versus woman argument out of your head, which so many hold on to A man has no body, women's rights, my body, my choice, right? All this shit that they spew. I know a lot of you are women, so I'm kind of interested to get your point of view on this stuff. I'm going to try to wrap this up. But think about it. Isn't like the killing of babies standing up for the killing of fetuses? Which the original Latin definition for fetus was like tiny baby. Sorry, Annie. This is too important. Or a little baby. So, fetus or not, we are all religious. Most people who watch this channel talk to God. Okay, well, as a God-fearing person, I believe that life is created at the moment of conception. In that moment, a very unique strand of DNA is created. Unique from the mother, unique from the father, but yet also a part of both. That unique strand of DNA is life. I don't care about waiting until a heartbeat is there or any of the other bullshit that they try to make acceptable. The moment of conception is life. The universe, God, whatever you want to say, has just given you the gift of life inside your body. Now, moving on beyond that. That's just what I believe. Some people say a heartbeat. Some people say, some people say a certain amount of weeks, which I think is kind of crazy too, because everything develops differently. I mean, look at people. Look how stupid the next person can be from the person standing next to them. You know, I developed mentally. My mental maturity didn't develop until later. Okay, I was doing wild shit when I should have been more dialed in. Anyway, so my cousin didn't even respond back at first. A couple of her friends did. And her friends were talking about how abortions are helping save women's lives, and how that whole argument, you know what I'm saying? You know the argument, well, the mother would die otherwise because of medical reasons. Well, that's also like a complete bullshit argument. We have allowed ourselves to be brainwashed into believing that the mother would die if she had to go full term or even partial term. The cesarean section is a beautiful operation, whereas both mother and child live to see beautiful sunny days in the future. You know how nice it is when the sun hits your face and you step outside and you take a deep breath and you're like, fuck, that felt good, man. It is good to be alive. Those moments are what we're fighting for. So both the mother and the child can have those moments. So, anyway, I said, I'm really going to try to keep this under 15 minutes. So, I replied, tried to be educational about it. I said, actually, that's extremely rare. C-sections save more lives than abortions, like hands down. And I may kind of be an asshole while I'm at it. I'm like, and being a woman, I'm surprised you didn't know that, right? And so then my cousin responds, blah, 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 blah. Same argument as I've already outlined. And, she's like, I've had 3 miscarriages, and luckily they call it a D&E, which is essentially an abortion. I don't know if this D&E operation is new, or if that's been around for decades, or if this D&E is just a new slang because the word abortion is too much of a buzzword, right? You say that A word, that's a buzzword. This video might get fucking taken down because of it. Anyway, She said, I've had 3 miscarriages. Luckily, they were early enough where I didn't have to have any D&Es. And if I did, if they went long enough, I was at severe risk for this and that. And there's no way I could have ever went full term. And I'm like, okay, so that's what they tell you. But, like, have you tried? Did you try ever? And, like, all of a sudden start seeing that your body was not handling this well. And so maybe they take the baby at 30 weeks or 32 weeks. And the baby still lives. And you still live. And you and your husband still have a beautiful, beautiful child that y'all can thank God for on every corner. My neighbor's outside. Okay. So, what the hell? Where was I going with this? So, I tried to tell him. I said, look, guys, those miscarriages, extremely unfortunate, but also fairly normal for a person whose body may not be able to handle a pregnancy. The body is an amazing system of checks and balances, okay? If it ain't right, it'll automatically abort the baby on its own. And if it ain't right and the baby's too big to abort itself, cesareans are a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, I do understand that some cases, it can't go either way. There are certain cases, and I feel like they are very rare, far and few between, in which those cases in which a mother's life truly depends on that baby not being there. So, that in itself is, I'm sorry. So I understand that, okay? And I'm fucking distracted, sorry. My neighbor's outside. He keeps kind of glancing over here at me, so I'm just kind of making it look like I'm talking to my phone. Maybe he'll think I'm talking to Annie. So, excuse me. So anyway, so I tried to explain to him. I said, look, man, I am one of the only people in my family that's not a doctor, a nurse practitioner, a family practitioner, or an RN. Literally everyone in my family. Sisters, uncles, aunts, parents. The receptionist at the shop is a retired OB nurse. Okay? I had this conversation with her today too. A cesarean works 99.9% of the time for any people who have complications with pregnancy. Ultimately, it didn't matter what I said. I got a bunch of notifications saying a bunch of fucking liberal, like, freak out, like, women's rights movements people started freaking out and mentioning me in comments. And so I'm just going to ignore it. I laid a lot of truth down. I laid a lot of facts down. I even gave them things to go look into. Like, why don't you go look into this or look into that? You know, like, they're brainwashing us through an overwhelmingly failed education system. And we already understand that our education system is a huge failure at this point. So, I mean, cognitive dissonance is hardcore, you know? People are like, no, our education system sucks, but it's taught me all the right things. I'm like, no, our education system needs to be revamped, right? They're like, yeah. Okay, but it's because it taught you the wrong things. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to keep it under 15 minutes, all right? So tell me what you guys think. Tell me what y'all think about women's rights. Now, here's another thing. I'm all about extenuating circumstance, okay? God forbid a woman is brutally raped and has to go full term with that pregnancy. What a traumatic nightmare that would be. What a traumatic nightmare that would be. Horrible. You know, somebody else even shared an article on there from the LA Times, and it was outlining how infant deaths have skyrocketed because women who are forced to go full term, knowing the baby is unhealthy and won't live, are not allowed to have an abortion. People, I mean, do you even hear that? Are people talking to their neighbors? Are they talking to community members? Go to the hospital, go to the OB floor, and talk to a nurse and see what they say. Don't take my word for it. Go to your local fucking hospital and just chat with a couple OB nurses. Any one of them. Doesn't matter which one. So I'm just like, man, that's pure propaganda. That's, you can't, are we just reading articles and regurgitating it? Or are we actually having conversations with people in reality, in our community, and understanding that these actually aren't issues? I don't know. So tell me what you guys think. I'm curious to know. If any of you have medical background, please let me know. A healthcare background, I would like to know. And if you do disagree, please give me justified and verified reasons why you think differently. I am completely open. You know, even though justified and verified facts are hard to come by these days because, I mean, Google, these corporations, I mean, these people, the powers, they have shit on lock. Anyway, it's 17 minutes. I love you all. Stay strong in your faith. Stay strong in your body and your mind, especially your mind. They're robbing our brains from us. They're hacked. They're hackable. We're hackable humans, remember. All right, love you all. Peace out.